On this page we're going to practice drawing some geometric shapes. There are 4 geometric shapes that you need to draw in the top left hand corner, and you have to draw each of these 3 times. So we begin by using light construction lines to find points on the geometric shape. So we've got horizontal construction line that allows us to find the top point of the triangle. I can then sketch the triangle using construction lines and then outline it, as you can see on the screen. The next geometric shape, we want to find 4 points to be able to sketch it. So I draw a horizontal construction line, that will find the points on the left and the right hand side edge of the square, and a vertical construction line to find the top and bottom. I've added two extra vertical lines just to find the points at the bottom. And once you've found these points, we can then construct the geometric shape. For the hexagon, we have 6 points. So again, it's a matter of drawing some vertical and horizontal lines to find these points and their opposite point, and then constructing the shape by joining the points. And you should be doing this for all 4 shapes, and you do it a 3rd time on the bottom row. Once you've completed that exercise, the next exercise involves drawing prisms using these geometric shapes. So as you can see, we've got a square prism at the top. I'm going to draw a triangular prism, and again we draw the triangle in the same way as before on the front and back of the box. That allows us to find the relevant points, and we can then join these points to create a 3D sketch of a triangular prism. And you should have a go at drawing all 4 geometric prisms. So the next one, again, we approach it the same way, drawing the necessary construction lines to find the relevant points on the front face. Once we've found these points, we can then construct the shape using construction lines. Then we can outline that, or we could, in this case, actually sketch it on the back and complete the prism. And it's the same approach in the back, same shape, and then we join the front shape to the back shape to create the prism. So that's 2 of the prisms out of the 4. If you could go ahead and finish all 4 prisms, that would be good. Okay, thank you. On the 3rd exercise, you're going to learn how to sketch a circle inside a square by constructing a frame consisting of 8 points. 4 of the points are found by drawing vertical and horizontal construction lines, and then another 4 points can be drawn on by sketching the diagonal lines from corner to corner. So where the vertical and horizontal line intersects with the square, that gives us 4 points, and then the other 4 points can be found by going 2/3 of the way out from the centre. So we now have 8 points that can be used as a framework for sketching the circle. Now when you're sketching the circle in between these points, it takes a bit of practice to learn how to sketch the line at the correct angle as it goes into a point and as it comes out of a point. Don't expect this to happen straight away. Your first few attempts might not be that great. You just need to practice this technique until you get better at it. You'll see in this example that when I'm sketching the top left-hand corner, it's a wee bit flat. So the rest of it is fine, but that corner needs to be fixed. So when I finish it, I recognise that and I rub it out and I realise it and make the point a wee bit further out to remove that flattened edge of the circle. Should point out that I'm doing this on a sketch app. Obviously it's slightly easier on a bit of paper. But then I've rubbed it out and I re-sketch it again, trying to make it look better at that corner. And there we have the circle. So you've got another number of squares, another few squares and rectangles there. And what I want you to do is to practice sketching circles and oval shapes. The fourth exercise uses the same technique to sketch an isometric circle. In an isometric circle, the square consists of vertical lines and lines that run at 30 degrees. But it's the same idea. We begin by constructing finding the points. So we need to find all 8 points, including the points where we come 2/3 of the way out from the centre. Once you find all of these points, we then have the framework to begin to construct the oval shape or the isometric circle inside the square. Again, you will need to practice this a number of times to end up with a isometric circle which looks good. So once you've done that, you need to have a go at doing that in all of the other isometric squares on the page. Okay, so now we have an isometric circle, looks pretty good, and if you could have a go at drawing some isometric circles on these other isometric squares. Okay, thank you for listening.